Hello, Caydor here. Time for... This is just a video of me opening 50 packs because I pre-ordered the Grand Tournament and had 50 packs, and this is me opening them. I'm not going to comment much on the packs. This is just mainly because I wanted to get at least one video out there kind of introducing my actual return, because as I've discovered recently, a decision isn't a decision until you decide to act upon it. So even though I have decided to start making videos again, because I have not successfully recorded or edited one yet, I haven't actually decided to start making videos again. So this is a combination audio log and me opening 50 packs. You can, of course, turn the volume off and just watch me opening 50 packs if you want. Otherwise, you're going to get about 15 minutes of me explaining kind of what's going on, what I'm going to be doing, and some difficulties I'm trying to work around. For starters, I've been having a lot of unusual audio and video recording errors. Whether it be my laptop either just from being out of date or whatever reason doesn't want to hook up to my Xbox One. So I currently have no means to record Xbox One games. My 360 is just barely hanging by on a thread. My PS3 is doing alright, so I could record PS3 things if I had any PS3 games. But basically what's going on is, a few weeks ago I just decided I'm done with my job. And right now I'm in kind of a recovery state because job was kind of hard on the arms and legs, and I basically feel miserable. So I decided that this would be a good opportunity to give a headstrong go at this whole video making thing, because before I didn't have... Before I had way too many excuses. And I'm trying to eliminate those excuses, one by one, slowly but steadily, and we're working on it. A lot of weird logistics things, but... And I have to stop myself, because otherwise this is going to be about 12 more minutes of me complaining. But basically this is just a solid first video I'm wanting to do. It won't be anything super special, because I haven't decided whether I'm going to try to get on the early bandwagon of the Grand Tournament. But I've been playing around with different games to record. Tried to build Hearthstone, but basically through my own stupidity I kept forgetting to double check that it was actually recording. One time it was just, I turned it off because I was taking a brief break, stretching my legs or whatever, and I came back and forgot to start recording again. And didn't realize it for another hour. Second one is, I remembered I checked it. It glitched out early on, and it came back, and so I thought everything was fine because I saw the thing up in the corner that should have indicated it was recording. Until I got to the end and realized that basically it had been stuck at the same numbers for a while, and it had basically stopped recording and the recording thing had crashed. But that was my own mistake. I should have been more cautious, but basically because of that, I ended up running too close to the Grand Tournament where some of the decks I was running, I wasn't sure how they would be going or whether I was going to continue running those or if I was going to start using Grand Tournament inspired decks, because looking through the cards here, there's a few common ones that I think could improve some of the old decks I was running. And of course, so in the meantime, I tried doing the Magic the Gathering Duels Origins, I think it's called. Basically, it's the whatever they call the new round of Duels of the Planeswalkers or whatever it is. And this one, it had things about it that I liked over the last one, and things about it I didn't like. Like, the main thing is because you don't really have control over your deck. It feels like a lot of times the opponent's deck is really designed to be like an uphill battle for the deck you're playing, and so if you're like just getting consistently bad draws, you're not getting like the 3 cards in your entire deck that would allow you to win, it just feels like a punch in the gut. And if this is designed to get new players into it, I mean, it does show 5 different deck styles and how you can slowly grow them to be better. But if you're a veteran player or at least have any experience playing, especially if you're like me, who I can easily play like basically every different type of deck out there somewhat consistently just because I have a kind of adaptable playstyle to most games. You basically look at the decks and you're like, if we cut these cards and these cards, we could really streamline this, because the aggressive decks like have like really high cost cards, and I think I don't remember her name. I think it's like Nissa. It's whatever the elf planeswalker is from the game. Like, she uses a green deck that has way more forest in it than I would ever allow in a deck. And I know it's supposed to benefit cards that grow with the number of forest you have, but you're in serious trouble if you need more than 14 forest to make a 14/14 to end the game. The deck that ended up being, I think, the best, partially due to me slightly favoring the playstyle and more because it was overall more consistent in what it was supposed to do, was actually Liliana's. And Liliana's is probably one of my favorite planeswalker, just because lots of neat abilities. Jace is a close second just because there's something sadistically satisfying about making your opponent discard all of their good cards. Especially if they're the kind that feels heartbroken each one they see go in the graveyard when it's like the one they need to win. And so I haven't decided whether I'm going to actually put those videos up, because a lot of it is like me just restarting over and over again, because on a lot of them, about the second or third duel into some of the, or retry into some of the games, I basically knew like what starting hand I would need to get through this game, and if I didn't have that, I was probably screwed. And I think there's one that I might release where like I'm about to reset and give up, and I'm like, no, I'm not that far behind. Let's play this out, and I end up winning. So I wasn't as far behind as I think I was. But I don't know if I'll do those, or since I basically unlocked about as many cards as I'm gonna get for now, if I'm going to try showing off some other game modes or making a unique deck, or if I'm gonna come back to it at all. I also haven't decided like what I'm gonna do the grand tournament wise. And like I would really like to do videos for the Elder Scrolls Online and possibly the Xbox One Dragon Age Inquisition, because I picked it up for the Xbox One. I beat it on 360, but I beat it with one class, and I thought it'd be neat to play through as one of the other classes and choose some of the decisions I didn't choose the first time around. And I may show up Xenoverse. So I've already beat it, and on games I kind of like to show from the ground up, just because I don't know if anyone else does, but the like journey appeals to me more, like taking a character from nothing with just one or two abilities and just like how it grows, how they have to readjust at certain points, and so on and so forth, just to make it work. Because they occasionally can, but a lot of the like higher end builds in a lot of games, you're like, how did they get there? Where do they put their points? What's more important? What works better early on? Or like maybe the build doesn't work at all early on. You have to play something else entirely that's actually super effective up until like level 30 or something, and then restarts. And so those kind of things always interest me. I'm also in the works of possibly putting up a Patreon page. Basically, I'm putting this video out as kind of a test, because with this kind of reboot of Adventures in Random, I want the focus to be more on you guys, what you guys want to see, because as I'll discuss in a more in-depth upcoming vlog, there's a few like nuts and bolts things that, like, do I want to do this? Do I want to do that? And I think at the end of the day, I want Adventures in Random to be in the realm of like 50-50 between what I want to see and do and make, and what you guys want to see me do and make. And what I mean by close to 50% is I'm thinking around like 51-49, or even like 50.50% to 49.50%. Just because at the end of the day, it is my show, and I'm not going to do anything that feels super uncomfortable. I might push myself and try things, and maybe something that I would never do right now in 3 years might be alright, but at the end of the day, I don't really know exactly what I want Adventures in Random to be, or what I want to cover. Like, the idea of picking a niche or like one specific thing that only I cover is like this. Like, just thinking about it makes my skin feel slimy, and I just got out of the shower. So that being said, if you listen to this all the way through, I want to thank you for actually taking time to listen to me ramble on. And if you have any ideas about what you would want to see out of Adventures in Random, then feel free to leave it as a comment below. Because I think it would be neat if, like, we can combine some of the ideas I'm kicking around with some of the ideas that you would like to see in a show. Maybe it's something you like to see in every show, or you haven't seen in a show that you think would be neat but aren't sure how it's going to play out. I mean, this is Adventures in Random. It's going to be the grand experiment. That is about the only thing I can tell you. And yeah, that is a ridiculous amount of dust. I managed to get 2 of the same legendary, which I don't know if what the odds of that are, but that was weird. But that's the end of the video. Thank you for tuning in, and hopefully I'll see you around for the vlog, where I'll have some more concrete ideas.